Hey Void, how you doing? Sorry for my last review. Just woke up and was trying to hurry to get everything going just to start my October review deluge. Now, by this time, I'm ready. I've had my Hocus Pocus 2 cereal. I've imbibed my new Halloween Voodoo 4 Mountain Dew, and I am now awake and ready for my day. And have already watched a film today. So, we're gonna keep this rolling. 2 years ago, when I started, I kicked off a marathon of just watching essentially whatever I wanted, movies that I'd been meaning to see. Across, usually between me ordering a bunch of films, my own collection, and just pulling things off of Netflix and Shudder. This year, or the year after, I went completely random and just whatever popped up first on Tubi, whatever popped up on my Netflix recommendations, or whatever I rolled dice to determine where I grabbed movies from Shudder on. Well, this year, I'm kind of going more back to what I did in the first one, except for this one's not really so much movies I've just been meaning to see, it's just things that I want to see, just with less things that have been on my radar for a while. This is just picking and choosing, semi off the cuff. I have created a few playlists that I'm going to be selecting movies from, things that have been just around that I've been meaning to see. And unlike previous years where I was trying to do one per day, well, usually one per day. This one, I'm just not really having that restriction. I'm trying to do at least one per day. However, I am working a lot more than I used to be. So, while I may not be watching everything a day, I'm going to have more than 31 reviews this month. And I'm going to try to watch one movie per day. If that's not possible, I'll at least have one review per day. As sometimes I'll watch one the night before and just won't have a chance to review it till the day of. But, well, first off, little mini review. Hocus Pocus 2 cereal. It's fine. Needs a little bit more berry to actually be worthwhile, but a little light on flavor. Ain't bad. I do like this, though. This is good. Not sure what the mystery flavor is, but it's kind of like a more citrusy, maybe like a grapefruit or a... It's definitely... It's got a tang to it. Okay. So, that aside, now I should actually get on to the movie I watched right now, which was one of great import that I saw. And that's The Giant Claw. Yeah, okay, so, I'm a kaiju fan. I own pretty much every Godzilla film there is. I own, I think, every Gamera film, except for possibly the most recent. Generally, if there's a giant monster rampaging, I am there and ready for it. But, well... So, of course, I had heard of the Giant Claw and know how ridiculous the monster looked. But I had never gotten around to actually seeing it, so... It's on Tubi, so... Tubi or not Tubi? I know the answer to that question. And the answer was the Giant Claw. Okay. So, is this movie bad? Yeah, it is. But it's a fun kind of bad. It's one of those, the characters are trying. The actors are giving this material their all. And I found out that, yes, the monster looks ridiculous. The monster looks like a giant buzzard, and an ugly one at that. The creators were originally hoping to do some sort of giant hawk or giant eagle. But no, they got a giant buzzard. Originally, they were talking about doing some stop motion, like Ray Harryhausen. Instead, they spent $50 to have a marionette maker down in Mexico craft this puppet. And it looks like it cost about $50. Well, so... What was also great is the actors are treating this thing with great reverence and terror throughout the entire film. They didn't know what it looked like. None of the cast had actually seen the monster until premiere of the film, no one knew what this thing was looking like. So they just had to, since mostly the monster was just either green screened in or shown on its own, or with just model planes, none of the cast or crew saw the monster until the premiere. So they are giving this their all, despite it being, well, terrible. But it was a fun kind of terrible. It's very 50s, and it's the dynamics showing that. It's a 50s sci-fi movie. Okay. What passes for a plot of this? A electronics expert who's doing a test piloting for the military to test their radar equipment sees a UFO, and no one believes him. Well, however, shortly thereafter, more sightings pop up, and, well, planes keep going missing. And it turns out, it's the giant claw. A very large buzzard. Well, they try to shoot it down, but turns out their weapons are completely ineffective to it, because in addition to this thing not showing up on any radar, it also seems to have this field around it that it has an antimatter force field that renders it immune to radar, and any bullets or rockets coming at it disintegrate before it actually touches the thing. Because this creature came from space. On a dimension, on a worlds where antimatter was more the norm than matter. Sure, movie. You're trying. You're trying. I don't know if it's working, but you're trying. I will say it was interesting to see how they were trying to explore this, but yes, it's a space buzzard. I don't know what else there is to say about it. The monster, if it looks ridiculous. Apparently, even audiences laughed at it back in the 50s. It's still laughable now. It has got to be one of the worst designed monsters out there. And it makes it kind of fun just to see how serious they're all taking this. Which makes this one, however, hard to grade, because on a technical scale, this movie would be about a 2 MacGuffin. Because the script is bad, the actors are trying, and some of the dialogue did give me a chuckle. Particularly some of the general's comments. So on a technical level, this movie's a 2. But it's strangely watchable. I was having a good time. It's not a long film. It's like an hour and 15 minutes. It's a short sit. It's an entertainingly bad movie. It's one of those earnest ones that they were trying to make a good movie and it just came out bad. It's not like a lot of those forced ones where it's like, yeah, they know their concept's ridiculous and they're leaning into it. No. It has an earnesty about it. So I'll give it 4 MacGuffins. Just for an enjoyment factor. I'm not gonna watch it often, and the problems are apparent, but those are the reasons to watch it. So I'll give The Giant Claw 4 MacGuffins, but that's just on a pure enjoyment factor, that could just be me liking giant monster movies and having a chuckle at this one. As before, from more of a technical, impartial view without that tongue-in-cheek nature, give it a 2 MacGuffin. Alright. That's about all I got on The Giant Claw. I've got a few more of these to drink. Gonna have another bowl of this and watch another movie today. And let's kick off October right, huh? See you guys around. And see you soon.